Bangladesh is once again on the boil following the attack on student leader Sharif Osman bin Hadi. The UN chief Antonio Guterres has called for calm with arson violence reported in several districts across Bangladesh. The next report navigates through the developments in greater detail.
Dhaka is burning. So are many other cities in Bangladesh. The current spate of violence was triggered following the attack on Sharif Osman bin Hadi on December 12th. Hadi, who succumbed to his injuries in Singapore on December 18th, was a prominent leader of the violent student protests, which led to the ouster of Sheikh Hasina and paved the way for the interim administration of Muhammad Yunus. Meanwhile, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called on all stakeholders in Bangladesh to exercise restraint, reduce tensions and refrain from violence as the country moves towards parliamentary elections scheduled for February. Condemning the killing of youth protest leader Sharif Osman bin Hadi, the UN chief extended condolences to his family and urged Bangladeshi authorities to carry out a prompt, impartial investigation in line with international human rights standards. The United Nations Human Rights Chief has called for a swift and impartial investigation.
We call for calm and for everyone to refrain from violence. Retaliation and revenge will only deepen divisions and undermine the rights of all. We urge the authorities to conduct a prompt, impartial, thorough and transparent investigation into the attack that led to Hadi's death and to ensure due process and accountability for those responsible.
Reports of arson and violence have emerged from several districts of Bangladesh. In Lakshmipur, a child was burned to death and 2 others seriously injured after miscreants set fire to the house of a local BNP leader early on Saturday. In Chattogram, unidentified attackers torched the residence of National Democratic Front President Barrister Anisul Islam Mahmood. Sporadic incidents of violence were also reported in Dhaka and other major cities. Citing security risks, the Bangladesh Shilpakala Academy has suspended all programs and exhibitions indefinitely following recent attacks on cultural institutions, including Chayanot and Udichi. Amid the unrest, Bangladesh's 2 leading newspapers, the Daily Star and Prothom Alo, have resumed print and online operations after temporarily halting services following vandalism and arson attacks on their offices earlier this week. The lynching of a Hindu youth in Moimunsingh and the horrific burning of his dead body in full public glare has sent shockwaves worldwide and raised serious questions about the safety of minorities in the country. With bureau inputs, Naval Sangh Parmar's report from Dhaka for DD India.
And today, Bangladesh's Editors Council and the Newspaper Owners Association of Bangladesh will hold a joint protest meeting to denounce recent mob violence and attacks on media and cultural institutions, raising alarm over press freedom and democratic values. The protest was prompted by a series of coordinated attacks, including vandalism, looting and arson at the offices of Prothom Alo and the Daily Star, as well as the assaults on cultural organizations, Chayanot and Udichi. Editors Council President and New Age editor Nurul Kabir was also physically attacked during the violence. All right, and DD India's Naval Sangh Parmar joins us on the phone line. Hi, Naval Sangh, a very good morning to you. We just told our viewers that Bangladesh's Editors Council and the Newspaper Owners Association of Bangladesh will hold a joint protest meeting today. Tell us more about it.
Well, this week there was a horrific attack on the media houses in Bangladesh and the media personality, as well as on the civil society and cultural organization. So it has created shockwave in Bangladesh and the civil society, though it is very, very thin here in Bangladesh nowadays, and liberal forces came together and they gave their opinions and they criticized the violence and incidents against the media and the common people in Bangladesh, and they are gathering today at a hotel in Dhaka, and the call for that is given by Editor Council of Bangladesh and the Newspaper Owners Association of Bangladesh. Meanwhile, the the director of Rapid Action Battalion, gave a press briefing in Mymensingh, and he has clarified that there is no evidence of blasphemy against the youth who have been killed by the mob in Mymensingh district 8. So these are the development in Bangladesh. And another thing, the Inqilab Manch, whom Osman Hadi belongs, has given a 24-hour ultimatum to arrest the accused in the Hadi's death. Otherwise, they will announce another protest or further program to press the government, interim government. Yes.
Okay, Naval Sangh, what you are saying, it seems like the situation in Bangladesh is not good at all. You just told us that there have been attacks on media houses and other institutions as well. I want to ask you that, has there been any statement from the government? Has the government condemned these attacks?
Well, after the widespread criticism from international media and locally, the Yunus administration criticized and condemned the move by the fanatical elements. But it is very evident, and the opposition party and the civil society here in Bangladesh also criticized that the inaction of the Yunus administration that leads to the severe attack on the media houses. At the time when the mob was marching towards the these media offices, there were a police presence was there, as well as the army personnel were also there. And in the presence of the police and the army personnel were requesting mobs to allow them to evacuate the journalists who were strapped on the roof of the Daily Star office. That is the pathetic thing. The army needs to request the mob. They were not taking action. They were requesting the mob people to allow them to evacuate the journalists from the rooftop. So that is the thing. And inaction of the Yunus administration is very evident from the social media footages as well as the criticism from the civil society.
Definitely. Naval Sangh, this situation tells a lot about the future of Bangladesh. In your analysis, Naval Sangh, can you just tell us that in a way, these protests which are happening, people have also threatened that they will hold more protests, if the government will not take any action. They're also likely to impact the elections that are going to take place next year.
Since the beginning of the Yunus administration took the charge here in Bangladesh, there are two group of political parties. One group of political parties is very much interested in the early election. At the same time, the another group of political parties, the fundamentalist element represent that the group, they are not willing to have election in Bangladesh because they are enjoying indirect fruits of the Yunus administration, and they are supporting Yunus administration. At the same time, Yunus administration is giving a free hand or leverage to the fundamentalist political parties to advance their agenda and propaganda in the Bangladesh. So the BNP and other political party accuse Yunus administration and the opposition, some of the political parties in Bangladesh, that they want to derail the electoral process in Bangladesh, and they are using incidents of murder of Hadi. They are encasing the incidents, and they are instigating the crowds and mobs to derail, to create a chaotic situation here in Bangladesh. So, in the pretext of the law and order situation, election can be postponed or cancelled.
Okay, election could be postponed or cancelled. That's what our correspondent is saying, Naval Sangh Parmar. Very quickly, one thing more. How do you assess the overall situation in Bangladesh, Naval Sangh? And tell us more about what's there when it comes to the security front. How's the security there right now as protests are going on and, in different parts of the country? So what is the overall situation there right now, and how is government tackling this particular situation which is there, causing unrest in the entire country?
As far as law and order situation is concerned, there is a plenty of evidence in the public life that what happened in the last couple of months. So people are worried and they are insecure. There is a threat to the life and property of any public figure. Whatever or anything can happen with anyone. So that kind of fear is there, and the law enforcement agency and the law and order situation in Bangladesh, there is no control of administration on the law and order situation, and people don't have any hope from this administration. Also, they are time and again asking for the resignation of Home Minister, but they are not yielding to their demand. On many occasions, there is a allegation from the different quarter of political parties that the administration is siding with some of the political parties, and they are bipartisan. They are not neutral at all, and they are providing undue benefit to some of the political parties.
Okay, so people are scared and there's a threat to life. This is what our correspondent Naval Sangh Parmar is telling us right now. Naval Sangh, we'll keep taking updates from you on this. Thank you so much. We'll leave it there. Meanwhile, Bangladesh's Rapid Action Battalion said no clear evidence of blasphemy has emerged so far in the lynching of a Hindu youth in Mymensingh. Rapid Action Battalion 14 Director Naimul Hassan said 10 people had been arrested in connection with the killing, including factory floor manager Alamgir Hossain and quality manager Miraz Hossain Akon. According to the battalion, Alamgir forced Deepu to resign and then handed him over to the crowd. The victim was Deepu Chandra Das, who was working at Pioneer Knitwear's BD Limited. He was beaten to death by a mob on Thursday night over alleged blasphemy. His body was later tied to a tree and set on fire, triggering widespread outrage. Deepu's family accused factory officials of pushing him to his death. A murder case was filed by Deepu's brother against unidentified suspects. Rapid Action Battalion said it would continue a parallel investigation alongside police into the brutal lynching.